everyone, thank you for watching this video. This is Sheva from Berry Mix Journals over at Instagram and also in Facebook. If we're not yet connected in those platforms, you can find the link to my profiles in the description. But I'm here today with a new video, and as you can see, it's my latest design team project for Raindrop Lila. So in this particular journal, I used, I think mostly the Margaret kit, as well as the baby blues and the little blessings. So those are mostly blue themed digital kits that I used in this journal. If you're interested in finding out how those kits look, I also have them linked in the description down below. But yeah, so this journal is full of the usual stuff that I add in my journal. So the cover is a soft cover. There's I think the fabric that I use for the cover is not vintage. That's a modern cover. The little trim at the top is vintage. The rest are modern, particularly the middle one, the middle piece, the floral trim, as well as the one at the back. Yeah, and the different pages, I think there are 3 signatures here. It's a mix of the digital kit papers, the background papers, as well as vintage papers, like the one that you saw. That would be a sewing pattern, vintage sewing pattern. This one is a vintage music sheet. I also have some vintage book pages, documents in here, and some of the tags, like you can see here, those big butterflies are cutouts from the Daphne's Diary magazine. So I added them to the bigger, I think, to the bigger tags that I have throughout the journal. The first and the second signature are composed of the digital kits as well as vintage elements. Like this one, this is a vintage postcard from 1910, as you can see here. I chose this because it has blue elements as well, so I added that in there. But the middle signature, and you can see that later on, that one is mostly composed of all writing papers. So I have tea-dyed papers in there, as well as I think some vintage ledger that I've included, some natural papers as well. So you can see that when we get to it later. But yeah, this journal has ephemera galore, as you can see from the current pages that I've shared. The digital kits from Lidia usually have a lot of these ephemera, like the tags, and I like using them throughout the journal. So I use them both as an ephemera as well as a I also use them as tuck spots in the journal. You can see some of them that I've also added in. That one, the middle part, middle spread in this particular signature is a vintage letter. So I just really like adding that there. This here, I also added the envelope. So I embellished some of the envelopes that I added in here. This is a vintage postcard that has a lot of blue skies, so I thought it went really well with the color scheme. This one is a vintage bingo paper. Then these are ephemera that are included in the kit. I added a lot of these envelope flip outs as well, because I thought they added a fun little element to the pages. This one, that was a vintage postcard, I think. And then more vintage sewing paper, sewing pattern here in this page. More of the background paper. This one is a fun tuck spot where I just added 2 of these mini tags. Well, they're medium tags because they also have a mini tag dangly in there. And then I really like those viewfinders as well. One thing that I also wanted to note, these ribbon seam bindings are from My Scrap Bin. I'll also link them in the description if you wanted to check them out. The colors of these seam binding ribbons are just really beautiful. This is now the second signature that I'm showing you. This is what I mentioned earlier, the mostly the writing part of this journal. So this one has a lot of space for journaling, or I mean, these pages can even be torn, you know, if you wanted to use them in some other part of your journal. If you wanted to use them for collaging, you can do that as well, or you can also completely cover them, collage over them if you prefer to. So that's what I'm sharing here. And this one would be those natural papers that I shared earlier. They're textured, but they're also of the same color scheme, so more dark blue. Thought they go well with the journal. That one there is just a piece of vintage wallpaper, blue wallpaper, so I thought I'd add them there. Those are vintage tickets. These would be embellished envelope and an embellished tag hanging out in that mini pocket. That mini pocket is actually made from vintage wallpaper as well. Yep. So this is the last signature with more of the background papers from the kit, vintage ledger papers, vintage book pages. This one, I like the bird in that sewing pattern paper with the blue background. So I chose that obviously because it's blue, went well with the theme. This particular page would be like I just added in or glued together some of the file folders that were included in the kit, so that it's a fun little element that, you know, flips out several times, can be used for secret journaling or other things. This is a huge pocket. And then this is a vintage, what do you call that? Document page, like a, I forgot what it's called, but a memo. So I'm sure you've seen that before, but I added that in there because some of the blue elements. And then the most of the pages also have lace at the edge. Those are modern lace, modern crochet trims as well. So that's what you have in at the edge of some of the pages. These are more flip outs. This one I think is my favorite embellished tags because of those huge butterflies. Yeah, more of those butterfly embellishments in that blue tag over there. And then I think the last page, or the last cover page, the back cover of this journal also has the same pockets that I have in the front cover, back of the front cover, if that's what you call that. And I also included several tags and I think a piece of vintage tickets. So you'll see that later at the back. So, oh, this one is really fun. So those are 3 viewfinders that I just glued together to turn into a belly band. That was fun. This is an embellished envelope from the kit. And then it's tucked inside this vintage wallpaper pocket. And yeah, this is the back cover that I mentioned earlier. So those are the embellished tags with the butterfly from Daphne's Diary and the ribbon from My Scrap Bin. And then this is a piece of vintage ticket. So that's it for my latest design team project for Raindrop Lila. I hope you enjoy this flip through. Thank you so much for watching.